Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So I will introduce the characters in Milra, the White Rose short story. The first, for the main character, there is Milra. She is the White Rose. The second, there is Oak Tree. The next, there is Ashiea. He is the god of summer. And then there is Irish as the god of spring. Rubrum as the god of autumn. Lumi as the god of winter, and last, there is Mammatus as the demigod who controls fifth season.
When honesty brings opportunities and wonderful chances, but one lie brings opportunity for 1,000 regrets and destruction. The sun illuminated the whole places which were overgrown with green grass and serene earth. Flowers were blooming everywhere, bringing smiles to the honeybees that were looking for food. The clear river flowed calmly. Not a few dragonflies had tasted the pleasure of slowly flowing river. Butterflies adorned the land, which was inhabited by thousands of living things. A butterfly flapped its wing and anchored in a large oak tree that was located right in the heart of the island. Beside the old oak tree, there was a white rose growing. The flower had a name, Milra. She was the only white rose that grew on the island. Every living creature that came to her place always praised Milra's beauty that was incomparable to other flowers. However, Milra secretly felt jealous of her best friend's old oak tree that could live hundreds of years.
Hey, my dear oak tree. How does it feel to live hundreds of years?
How does it feel? I don't know how to answer its feel.
How good it is to live hundreds of years like you. It's not like me who only lived in one season, withered, and died.
The old oak tree was suddenly silent when hearing Milra's words. Milra walked closer to the old oak tree and asked,
Is there a way for me to live endless life with my beauty?
You mean how to make you immortal with your beauty?
Yes. You must know the secret because you are the oldest living creature on this island.
The old oak tree sighed. Its yellow leaves fell to the ground because of his sigh. He looked at Milra, whose eyes were shining, waiting for an answer.
You really want to know how? Asked the old oak for certain.
Yes, I really want to know.
The old oak tree told the secret to Milra. The world they lived in was controlled by spirits who governed the season. The season spirits were Ashiea, Lumi, Rubrum, and Iris. Among the four controlling season spirits, Mammatus was the most powerful of them because she was a demigod spirit. To get the beauty and eternal life that she wanted, she had to collect each of the four seasons' power to arrive at the fifth divine spirit.
Just like that? It's very easy,
said Milra with a chuckle.
Aren't you afraid? What if you fail?
Asked the oak tree worried.
I'm not afraid at all.
Milra replied, shaking her head. The old oak tree was amazed at Milra's reaction. It was as if she knew how to get the power of the five spirits.
How do you get this strength?
I don't know. Maybe I will think about it during my journey.
I really don't know whether to support your decision or not. I hope you do not end up regretting your decision. The constellation in the sky at night is the map that will take you to the place of the spirits.
Milra started her journey. She came out of the peaceful and quiet island. The first spirit she passed by was the spirit of spring. The spring residence was filled with flower arrangements everywhere. The pink cherry blossoms on the east waved towards Milra. In the west, she stared at colorful tulips engrossed in stories. She was amazed to see a flower bed growing on the green ground. This place was much prettier than where she lived. Milra continued her step further inside until she finally arrived at a garden surrounded by white edelweiss flower.
Who is coming to disturb my sleep in the broad daylight like this?
Milra gasped at the sound that echoed in the garden. A giant butterfly suddenly appeared before Milra. Its wide and large wings almost blew Milra's body.
Sorry about my nerve. I'm Milra, the white rose from the island of Pangatua. You must be Iris, the spirit controlling spring.
You know my name?
Milra nodded towards the spring spirit called Iris. Iris's eyes lit up instantly. After thousands of years of being spring spirit, it was the first time he received a gaze who knew his name. Iris also began to tell Milra. As long as he lived, he was always lonely. No one had ever come to sit down and listen to his story, even though there were thousands of flowers in the garden. Iris wondered if a seasoned spirit like himself could ever have a friend. Milra thought for a moment. It was the right time to get strength from Iris.
If you don't mind, I can find you someone who can be your friend while you're here. But on one condition, I need a little of your magical power to do it.
Iris immediately accepted Milra's offer without thinking. A slice of his antenna came near to Milra, and a beam of light came out of it. For a moment, Milra felt something extraordinary flow through her. After gaining strength from Iris, Milra thanked and promised him to bring a friend to Iris. Milra hurried away, leaving Iris that waved with hope. Cheerfully, Milra said to herself,
Tricking the season spirit is a piece of cake.
Milra's next journey was summer spirit Ashiea. When Milra arrived at the place where Ashiea lived, she looked at a boy with yellowish hair sitting on an hourglass. Around him, there were only desert and sleeping cactus trees. Milra gasped to see many tattoos etched on the boy's face. The golden sun tattoo on the forehead clearly revealed that he must be the summer controlling spirit, Ashiea. Milra didn't think that the spirit controlling summer would be a child.
It won't be difficult.
Thought Milra. She walked up to the little boy.
Who is there?
The boy immediately turned his head towards Milra. He nodded without a word coming out of his mouth. Right, that little kid was Ashiea. He gave a sign for Milra to sit next to him.
I'm Ashiea, the spirit that controls summer.
I am Milra, the white rose of wandering Pangatua.
Ashiea pointed to the sun that was almost setting.
You know, Milra, why the sun has to set?
Milra didn't answer and waited for Ashiea to continue his sentence.
So that farmers in the field and living plants can rest at night. However, they often misinterpret my good intention. They complain and blame me for the prolonged dry season.
Milra started thinking. It was the perfect time to ask Ashiea for strength.
Ashiea, I can help you to resolve the misunderstanding. However, on one condition, you must give me a little of your strength. When I get home, I'll tell the farmers and plants about your good intentions. Therefore, you don't need to be miserable anymore.
Milra offered to help Ashiea in resolving the misunderstanding. What Milra said had a point too. It didn't take a long time. Ashiea immediately gave a little of his strength to Milra. After gaining strength from Ashiea, Milra left Ashiea's place and told him that she would keep her promise. Once again, Milra's plan worked. She felt stronger and more beautiful than before. She didn't feel thirsty and hungry or even tired. Milra continued her journey to the next destination. This time, she arrived at a place where thousands of maple trees lived. Yellowish-orange leaves fell from the towering maple trees. Milra had arrived at the place of the spirit controlling the autumn, Rubrum. Milra walked past the trees. The sound of her footsteps was heard as Milra stalked and her leaves touched the maple leaves that were scattered on the ground. Right in front of her, there was a strange creature reading a book. Her appearance looked quite peculiar. She was wearing a conical hat on top of her head and a dress that appeared to be made of a broomstick. The figure turned around and she was surprised to see Milra.
"Oh, who are you?"
asked the figure.
Oh, sorry to surprise you. I'm Milra, the white rose from Wandering Fangatua,
replied Milra. The figure that looked quite creepy bringing her face closer to Milra. She watched Milra narrowly. Then in a split second, the figure sat on the ground.
"Nice to meet you. I'm Rubrum, the spirit that controls the fall,"
she said in a friendly tone. Her slightly creepy appearance was inversely proportional to her friendly and cheerful nature. Rubrum put down her book. She sat on the ground and began to cry. Milra was confused because Rubrum suddenly reacted like that.
What's up, Rubrum? Why are you crying?
Asked Milra.
"I remember something that squeezed my chest,"
replied Rubrum. Rubrum started telling Milra about an old farmer she had met. The farmer was shabby, had no family, and only lived with the crops which were not always successful every year. Rubrum felt sorry for the farmer, so she gave the farmer food, proper clothes, and a bag of gold maple leaves to help the farmer's life. The farmer was very grateful for Rubrum's kindness. After the meeting, Rubrum no longer heard the news or even met the farmer. Rubrum was worried about the farmer because this year, none of the farmers had managed to harvest. That memory made Rubrum cry. After hearing Rubrum's story, Milra began her cunning action and tries to calm Rubrum down.
Calm down, Rubrum. I can help you. I'll go find the farmer you mean, on one condition. You have to lend me a little of your strength. It will keep my life on the way.
Rubrum wiped her tears. Her face looked a little suspicious, but Milra assured her that she would keep her promise. Rubrum also agreed and accepted Milra's help. It didn't take a long time. Rubrum gave a little of her strength for Milra. Milra thanked Rubrum and left her. Rubrum was full of hope. With an innocent face, Rubrum didn't realize that she had been tricked by Milra. Milra continued her journey to the place of the next season spirit, the winter spirit. Upon arriving there, white snow fell from the sky, greeted Milra coldly. There were animal footprints on the thick snow that covered the place. Milra watched them slowly. Out of curiosity, she traced the direction of the footprints. After walking some distance, the footprints rapidly disappeared. Milra stopped looking at the ground, and when she looked forwards, there was a wide flat area of thin grass. When Milra turned her gaze to the left, a female wildebeest was staring at her from afar.
Is that you? The match seller?
Asked the wildebeest in an echoing voice.
Not. I'm not a mat seller. I'm a white rose, Milra. I'm on my way,
said Milra, half shouting. She came to Milra. She lowered her head as a sign of greeting Milra.
My name is Lumi. I'm a deer and also a spirit that controls winter. I'm sorry about that. I've lived long enough and I'm not young anymore.
It is okay. Oh, by the way, what's with the mat seller? Do you have any mat selling friends?
Lumi smiled slightly. She then told Milra about a little girl selling matches on Christmas Eve last winter. The little girl offered her match to everyone who passed by, but no one cared. Starting to get hungry and cold, the little girl looked for a place to warm herself. The little girl met Lumi where they were standing now. At first, Lumi had doubts about the little girl. However, because she couldn't bear to see the child cold, Lumi helped her. The little girl and Lumi talked all night long until they fell asleep. Unfortunately, the little girl's life didn't last long. She passed away when she was asleep. Because of that incident, Lumi regretted her decision not to help the little girl earlier. From Lumi's story, Milra didn't have any idea to say. At this time, she was confused about how to ask Lumi for strength. Until finally, Milra opened her mouth.
Then, do you want to help me?
Said Milra.
Help you? Of course. I don't want to regret it again after that incident.
Milra smiled slyly and started telling lies to Lumi.
I want to go home, but I don't think I'll be there because the season will change soon. Can you give me a little of your strength so I can arrive where I live safely?
Lumi was silent for a few moments. Milra waited for an answer from Lumi with sparkling eyes staring at Lumi. Lumi finally agreed to give her magic power to Milra. Lumi's large horn gave off a white glow with powdered snow. The light flew towards Milra and began to fill every part of Milra's organ. After getting strength from Lumi, Milra thanked Lumi and immediately left the place. Lumi stood and watched Milra fade along with the snowflakes. Milra arrived at the end of her journey. With a passionate feeling, she couldn't wait to get to where the fifth spirit is. In the fifth spirit resided, there were thousands of clouds that looked like a sweet, colorful sand moving in the sky. The place was surrounded by small rivers. Milra followed the banks of the small rivers until finally she came to a waterfall. The falling waterfalls were the source of the water that filled the small rivers. The twinkling colors radiating from the waterfall made Milra want to touch it. However, when Milra just wanted to touch the waterfall, a voice called at her from behind.
Don't touch it. It is the water of life that flows all over the world.
When Milra turned back, there was a large phoenix with its long tail feathers dangling close to Milra. The beauty of this phoenix mesmerized Milra. Immediately, she apologized for her impudence on the spot and introduced herself to the bird. The phoenix flew away and introduced itself to Milra in return.
I am Mammatus, the demigod spirit who controls the fifth season. What makes you so desperate to come to me? The people who are determined to get to this place must have something they want to have. Tell me.
Finally, she conveyed her wish to Mammatus. The desire for beauty and eternal life was the reason that brought her to come to this place. Even she didn't mind leaving her house where she lived through its season, and finally, she arrived at the place where the fifth spirit lived for the sake of immortality, which only Mammatus could grant.
You made it here. That means you succeed in gaining the power of the other four seasons, controlling spirits. What did you do so that they are willing to give you some of their strength?
Milra became silent and thought before answering Mammatus' question. If she was honest, then Mammatus wouldn't have granted her wish. If she lied, she had a chance of getting the immortality that she wanted. Then, confidently, Milra gave the answer to Mammatus' question.
I help them overcome loneliness, injustice, guilt, and fear. I promise them to find what they are looking for and need.
You keep your promise?
Of course.
Mammatus stared at Milra for a long time.
I will give you the opportunity to answer honestly, but unfortunately, you still lie. I won't grant your wish.
Mammatus then flapped her wings and flew over Milra. The sky suddenly turned dark, and the clouds that had been colorful turned into pitch black clouds. The rain immediately flushed because of the black clouds. Even the sun was hiding behind the clouds. The atmosphere turned tense and edgy.
Cursed be you, Milra, for choosing a cunning path to get what you want. You will turn into black clouds and live in misery here forever.
The answer that Milra believed would get her to get what she wanted was wreaking havoc on herself. In an instant, Milra was lifted to the sky and turned into a black cloud that would always be there when raining. Finally, Milra lived in misery, not getting the life she wanted. The opportunity to regret and plead back for Mammatus didn't exist because it was too late.